Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mage,
And this is Maga.
And this is Juan.
and looks like we have a very close spawn at the top here. Top here. And Wrecktify is not ready to play yet. But so this is the season 18 FML finals. We have in it Ludix, who is better known as Calypso, sorry. Tyrant, who won his semifinal match to get here and is the undead player. Wrecktify, who is a three-time champion and auto-qualified from the regular season. And then rounding it off, we have Mage, who is our second semifinalist winner. And I guess for those of you that don't know, why don't you guys go ahead and give me a little background about yourself. So, Juan, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got involved with free-for-all, and all that good stuff.
Well, a little bit background about Freefall. I think it already started somewhere back in 2008, maybe even a little bit later on. I think it used to like when I went to the inactivity and I got a little bit bored of 1v1, and FFA was kind of, well, it gave me some chills, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, when did FML came out, the league? A little bit later, right?
Yeah. Well, FML has been around since around 2006, but there was a inactivity period,
Okay.
and it kind of reformed in about 2011.
Oh, yeah. So somehow I got the information that there was a FFA league, but I haven't seen any kind of actual known players that I've heard before in the 1v1 scene in the FML season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I said, so I already played some FFA before and just tried it for like the first time when I played the qualifier and actually qualified for the season for the first time, even though I didn't really know much about FFA. And somehow it was really interesting for me because there was new stuff in Warcraft 3 that I could actually learn. It's not like that I already learned everything in Warcraft 3 in the 1v1 situation stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, FFA was actually really interesting. Plus, you could actually play all four races if you're good at it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And there are so many moments. I think there has been where you have to actually take care of compared to the 1v1 game. So many situations that you can't really compare to both game modes, like 1v1 and FFA. So even if you play the game like after 5 years or 6 years or even more, and you haven't been actually that close or into FFA after all, then you start with playing FFA, like me, after 6 years. It was
Yeah.
really interesting for me to learn something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's how a lot of our players get started. And actually, Magadansky came from the solo world as well. So why don't you give us a little bit of your background, Maga?
Yeah, I also come from the solo scene. I used to play for 3WD in Bulgaria, and I was like semi-professional. But the Bulgarian scene eventually died off, and I got really tired of solo as well. And I just started playing on the Battle.net ladder back then. Some point, I think I reached like rank 2, and then if I'm not mistaken, one FSTCSH, if you remember this player, he's a very old school. He messaged me on Battle.net saying if I'm interested in substituting in one game, and it was, I think, Gold Rush for season 6 or season 7. And I was like, why not? And I won even the game. So the next season I subscribed for the league and won my qualifier. And actually, I think it was my first season and I won it against Enlin and Nublex and Wrecktify, who is currently in the final. And yeah, since then I've played for like 3 years probably or something like this.
Yep, and Magadansky currently is tied with Wrecktify, who's in this game for the most FML championships. And just kind of a nice segue into that, we'll go ahead and talk about our players briefly as well. So Ludix is better known as Calypso. He's pretty well known in the solo scene, has really dedicated a lot of time to becoming good at free-for-all, and took to it wholeheartedly. Really has kind of stopped playing solo for the most part and plays a lot of free-for-all. Is dedicated a lot of hours to just getting into the game. Please don't type MAGA. and he's just done a fantastic job. Last season was his first season, and he almost managed to qualify for the finals, but had a rough semifinal game and got knocked out. This season, he directly qualified for the finals by finishing second in points overall, and really has just performed brilliantly so far. Has a great spawn on this map, and is going for his kind of signature Blade Master Quick Wyvern tech. Above him, we have Tyrant, who was pretty much an unknown player coming into the season. He's a bit more passive and reminds me a bit of Renault's style of play, but maybe not quite the same game awareness that Renault has. But still, he has performed very, very well so far this season. We just finished casting his semifinal match, where he had a very good showing, and I suspect he's only going to get better as it goes on. He's not the most micro-intensive player out there, but he's got a very good feel for the game and really has a knack for macro and building up a great economy. Next to him, we have Wrecktify, who is sharing the inside spawn, so both Tyrant and Wrecktify will either have to cross Expo on the other side of the map, as Wrecktify is doing now, we can see, or we'll have to try and take out somebody early on. But Wrecktify is the only other player with three FML championships. He's hoping to pick up his fourth here. He's also known as Dark Flame Master, formerly a human player who has switched over to the Night Elf race. He's probably the favorite going into this game. He had an excellent regular season, and really he's just looking to top Magadansky in his own words. Our last player here is Mage Skynet. He picked up around Season 10, but he was pretty heavily a solo player at the time. He really liked to go Tinker. That's kind of his signature trademark, but for the past 2 seasons, he's laid off the Tinker, put a little more effort into playing the game in a more competitive manner, and as a result has had great results. He's known for being a bit of a hoarding type player. He just gets a lot of gold very quickly, similar to how Tyrant does, but as playing Night Elf. And he's shown great results, won his semifinal match in a bit of a disconcerting way due to a disconnect from another player, but still nobody doubts that he deserves to be here, and he is absolutely one of the top contenders and a fan favorite going into the match, I think. He's also picked up the Demon Hunter first, which is a bit of an odd choice. Usually you see the Dark Ranger as the first hero, like we see Wrecktify picking up, so we'll see how that turns out for him. Interesting spawn so far, though. And it looks like we are about to get to Tier 2 for everybody, so we should see some action picking up before long.
By the way, what do you actually think, what do you actually think about the mid-game or late game? Who's actually picked in who?
I think that late game, both Tyrant and Mog will have the economy advantage. I think Calypso will have a huge hero advantage. He's just so dominant micro-wise. And I think Wrecktify is going to be the wild card here. He can play both hyper aggressively, and he is capable of playing a very good macro game. But both Tyrant and Wrecktify have pretty shitty spawns here. I mean, we do see all 4 clustered up there. Wrecktify doing a nice job of cross-expoing here. I think Tyrant is going to be in the worst position coming out of this. I don't think he has the necessary micro to break out on Calypso if he wanted to, and he's taking a little too long to micro across to expo across the map. So at this point, I think that mid-game to late game, it's going to be probably Wrecktify and Calypso taking the lead, but you can never count Mog out.
Yeah, and also Tyrant is undead, so that's going to be very tough for him to actually break out of Calypso. So we'll see, though.
Yeah, for those
I guess
not
maybe
aware.
a Destroyer Rush or with very fast Frost Worms. We might see. Oh, he's going Temple of the Damned. Interesting choice.
Well, I remember that when I played an official match here in one of your leagues, if you take a look at those spawns in my game, I had the exact spawns right here, and I think I also started in somewhere in the middle of those of all 4 players, and someone after the game told me that I shouldn't kill the guy right next to me. Because you want to make sure that you can come free. So if I would be in Tyrant's position, I killed Wrecktify, which would have been horrible.
Yeah.
That's what actually I learned. So you just want to make sure that you kill Ludic so you can get more mines, since the other on the bottom are actually free and there are no players who spawned over there.
Yeah, if you're going to kill somebody, you definitely want to make sure you're going to kill somebody who you can expo out there. Nice job by Tyrant making sure that he got the kill for that, not letting Calypso get that just Calypso is very well known for playing a Blade Master that runs around the entire map, so that was some heads-up play there. Picked up a Django of Endurance. Unfortunately, that does make his second, so not all that useful, but well played by Tyrant there.
Most importantly, he actually picked up the creep that gives the item. And if this item was not the Django, but the close of attack, for instance, it would have been, a much different story.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to give the Blade Master claws of attack.
Yeah. And I noticed also... Yeah?
Yeah, no, just continue.
Okay, I noticed that Wrecktify has 3 roosts already set up, and I predict that he might just push the C button on them very soon. He has the gold, he has 70 food supply, possible to go up to 70 food so far. And Mog is behind tech, he doesn't even have a roost yet. So we might see a very quick rush here.
Yeah, Mog could be in a lot of trouble here. He does have 3 Ancients of Wind, which is pretty adequate for defending, but... Oh, he's got the 2 roosts down there, but still, if Wrecktify comes off with a quick rush, then that could be a lot of trouble for Mog. Mog obviously going for a much more macro-based game, putting up his 3rd expansion already.
Also, I noticed that he just teched Corrosive Bread, and also the level 2 attack and level 1 armor. I think instead delayed a bit the upgrades, but went for the Chimeras right now, he would have been in a better spot to attack Mog. Now it might be a bit late, but we'll see.
Yeah, and Calypso just denied one of his Wyvern, so he can get 4 more Europeans into his gold mine. Just make sure that he continues to mine some more for the economy.
Yeah, this map is absolutely all about getting as much gold as quickly as you can. We'll just go right out here. So, Ludic's Calypso is pretty low on wood right now, only 100, but he's at 3,500 gold. Tyrant at 2,800, Wrecktify at 3,000, and Mog at almost 4,000. So Mog's really got the economy going well, and most notably, Mog has a surplus of wood, which none of the other players has at the moment. But with how big this map is, how many mines there are, you really got to make sure you get your gold while you can, since once the fighting starts, there's going to be a lot of manipulation about who got how many gold mines and that type of stuff. I like that Tyrant here has pulled away his Death Knight, try to get a little more experience on that Dreadlord, hopefully hit level 3 with it. So as you're both undead players, what are your opinions about going Dreadlord 3rd versus getting the Dark Ranger 3rd?
Shall I start, or do you wanna?
Yeah, I can just briefly mention my thoughts. It's Dark Ranger is very good against Orc players because you can silence all the casters and you can silence the Torrent so that it doesn't stomp. However, it's not really effective against Night Elf players, and there are 2 Night Elf players here. You need the Carrion Swarm, you need Sleep, and Vampiric Aura to counter, to get the edge on aerial battles. So that's why I think Dreadlord is the better solution here.
What do you think, Wan?
That's a really tough decision. I think whenever I played FFA, I think the 3rd hero choice was almost a difficult choice you could actually ever had here. Especially, well, let's say if you face 2 humans, I think Dark Ranger is of course a really nice hero due to the silence hitting, or if you can try to hit 3 heroes, it's really awesome. Compared to the Dreadlord, which is just a single target with Sleep, which is really hard to kill any kind of heroes here versus a human player, but well, thankfully there's no human, so I think yeah, I really think that the Dreadlord is a better pickup here right now due to the Infernal as well. Of course you can steal units, but if you want to rule the battle, I think Infernal plus Carrion Swarm, it's just way better. But also notice that Tyrant is actually going Fiends, and I think my personal opinion is that if you go Fiends, then you should actually go for Dark Ranger, because you can play much better with Gargoyles and the Dreadlord
He's going to tower Ludix.
Yeah, this is an interesting decision here. I thought we might actually see a Necro Wagon push, but it looks like it's going to be Fiend Banshee right now. This is actually a smart decision in my opinion. Ludix is very well known for just going that Wyvern Blade Master combination, and nobody's really pushed him on it, but it looks like it may finally be taken advantage of right now, and this is pretty much a great sweet spot for Tyrant to push him out. Tyrant, obviously a very passive player normally, but you gotta admire how gutsy he's being right now. I think this is a great opportunity for him. It'll just be a question of can he execute on it, and can he keep up with Calypso's micro, since they're obviously not quite in the same class on that one.
Yeah, plus we have sleep on level 2 right now, and it took Calypso some time to dispel the sleep right now. Plus he has the curse ability right now, and well, you can see the TC just died to be called over,
that's gonna be
and
a big change right there.
Yeah, that was
there was a
nice
heal pot, but he couldn't use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had so many good items on the TC. Well, I think if he had, I'm not sure if he has a big delay or something, but with those items, he barely loses a 0. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
plus he has a Shadow Hunter on level, only level 1. Thought he was level 3
that Shadow
already.
Hunter being level 1 is really going to be what hurts him. Just on the other side of the map, it does look like Wrecktify is going to be pushing on Mog as well. So Tyrant may be able to do some serious damage here. Going to take out this altar. That Torrent Chief not going to be able to come back unless he revives it from the tavern or rebuilds the altar somewhere else. And Tyrant's push here could do quite a bit of damage. It's looking to turn out pretty nicely right now.
Well, in
and
my opinion,
all the burrows are exposed as well.
Yeah. Well, I actually think that if Tyrant plays really well right now, if he's not doing any huge mistakes, and he can easily execute Ludix right now. He has only 2 Spirit Walkers, which only got less mana. I think he has like 2 or 3 Dispels left, and Tyrant actually has 3 or 4 Banshees, and his heroes are quite high already, level 3 and level 4. And if you take a close look on this Dreadlord, he has a mana stone, and all of his heroes anyways got really big items to survive any kind of nuke. He has Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, a Health Stone, he has a Potion of Invulnerability on the Lich, and I think the most exciting item is actually the Jang Endurance Aura. He has a bonus movement speed, so you can easily play hit and run here with the Nova to the Wyverns, and since the Shadow Hunter is only level 1, there's not a really big follow-up here with the heal wave, and as you can see, the Dreadlord is just getting melted by Cold Nova, and well, it will be really hard for Ludix here to come back into this game after this tower push.
Yeah, the only thing that Tyrant's got to be a little worried about is the watchtowers did manage to go up. He probably would like to take those out earlier on, and he's probably got to wonder how much gold and wood Calypso has at the moment. The wood could be the big problem for Calypso. We do see he has a Shredder going at the moment. He is not rebuilding much at other places, though. Let's quickly switch over here. I missed the first part, but it does look like Mog and Wreck are fighting. Mog losing both the Keeper and the Panda, so left with a single Demon Hunter, which is very low at the moment. Going to have to TP out right now.
He's losing, but the aerial fight is going in his favor.
So Mog is very heavily on the Hippogriffs, but is forced to TP out there. So early win for Wreck, but not definitive. Wreck will have to definitely rebuild a lot of his anti-air units.
Yeah, actually, this is something that a lot of players sometimes forget, is that, okay, he lost 2 heroes, but he didn't lose anything else. He actually killed a lot of the army of Wrecktify, and that way, gold-wise, Wrecktify loses much more, and he will lose probably these.
Yep, Mog's going to come in here, and I see 1 staff. Does he have a second staff? No, he has 1 single staff, so he's going to lose 3 of his Chimeras right now. That's not going to be good for him, obviously. Good heads-up move by Mog there to make sure he goes ahead and finishes off the Chimeras, but doesn't lose his remaining hero. So, well played there. And just something worth noting right now, Tyrant does only have 1 expansion at the moment, so despite Calypso being forced to play back into his own base, he does have 3 more expansions up, so that could be a problem for maintaining the siege right now. And if he can continue to master those Wyverns, then Calypso looking like he can probably turn the tide on this right now. It was a really nice push, but it doesn't look like it's going to hold up, so we're probably still going to be in the middle of our 4-way game. On the other side, it looks like we may see the Demon Hunter get very low here, but the Keeper of the Grove is also looking like it could go down at any moment. Mog playing with fire right now does go ahead and TP out there, and will he be able to take down either the Bear or the Keeper of the Grove?
Just 1 more hit for the Bear, and the
that's bad luck there.
Level 6.
So
yeah,
Tyrant,
yes.
Tyrant really going all in this push. I mean, he's got the Tomb of Relics there. He's building more towers, building some meat wagons. So if this doesn't work out for him, then I gotta believe Tyrant may be out of the game after this.
Yeah, however, I cannot understand why Tyrant is not building any expos in the meantime. He has the Blade Master occupied, and I do not understand why he could have taken both of these expansions. He has an Acolyte down there as well at 7 o'clock. So.
Yeah, that is weird. That he must have just forgotten, because clearly he meant to do that at some point. I think it's just slipped his mind while he was pushing on this.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Now finally he realizes.
Yep. Okay. So that will play a big part here. And Tyrant harassing with the school, something Wrecktify and I actually talked about earlier. More people need to do it. Is while you're attacking, you can do so much damage by harassing with that one ghoul. Calypso actually countering it nicely by putting up the towers, though. He might be better off just attacking the peons. And
one more thing is that Ludix is actually the richest at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he can, if he somehow manages to fend off this push, he can easily manipulate that, Tyrant actually went so hard on me, and I'm so poor, and I barely survived, and etc. etc. He already even started. Yeah.
That manipulation just came out.
But it's really hard for Calypso actually to come back. The thing is, even though he's running on 3 expos, he's still getting towered by non-net, so it's not really that easy for him to leave a space. So if he wants to get out of there, he actually has to, well, he's definitely losing so much army, as you can see. He's losing so many units by hit and run, and so it doesn't really matter if he has 5k. He somehow needs to manage to get back get back into this game. And just take a look at Tyrant 554. Dreadlord is almost level 5 as well, with a level 3 carry as well, maybe. So there's basically no chance for him to lose any kind of army pretty soon.
Yeah, with this fortress going down, Clips has got to be really worried about that. I don't want to scroll over yet, but is he teching up on any of his expansions to try and build up just in case?
No, he just lost
down.
And looks like Dreadlord may go down, just pops off that potion. Perfect time right there. But Calypso going all in on this push. Yeah, Blade Master and Death Knight both looking low. Calypso really trying to make sure that he can do some damage here, but the tower's really playing their role right now.
And Torn might die again.
Yeah.
Torn Chieftain does go down there.
Again,
actually, the funniest thing here is that Ludix has actually the lowest level heroes here.
Yep.
He's usually exactly the opposite. It's
let's go ahead
4-3-2.
Talk about the other side of the fight over here a little bit, since it looks like this is going to be kind of just a slow fight. Siege into the base right now, but it looks like Wrecktify and Mog continuing to do pretty even battle back and forth right now. We do have Wrecktify at 2,000 gold. He's at 86 of 90 food, whereas Mog is at 500 gold but only 56 food. Wrecktify really looking like he's going to put on a strong push right now. Also harassing with the Ancient of War, a very nice maneuver on his point, and I don't know, this could actually be the end of Mog if Mog does not get a good break or some help.
Yeah, actually, I don't think he would be able to recover because now he's losing his expos. He has no gold.
Yep, and Wrecktify taking out both expos. He's going to take out the third before too long, and he's also gaining expansions as we're speaking, although he does not have his natural up, which is kind of interesting.
And also, okay, he's 100, so he's not gaining so much gold, but...
Yeah, Wrecktify should either drop to 80 or go up to 100. He being at 85 does not make much sense for him right now.
Yeah. I somehow highly doubt that Tyrant will stop attacking Calypso.
No, that's dangerous to let the orc live.
Yeah.
If I was in his shoes, I would want to make sure that Calypso was completely dead, because you don't want that Blade Master running around attacking you.
Yeah. But he has nice hero levels for actually fighting Wreck 2. Dreadlord is almost level 5.
Yeah,
so he'll have the perfect anti-hippo armor.
Yep. He did a nice job creeping, and it's only gotten better as he's continued to attack. I think he should leave something behind here to just finish off those buildings, because if you get into a base race, you don't want to leave anything alive. But we do not have Calypso teching up on any of his main Great Halls, so he is currently stuck at Tier 1, it looks like. and instead we'll be bringing the fight to Tyrant. So if you guys are undead players in Tyrant's position and you see Calypso attacking you to try and force you to stop hitting him, what are your reactions and how do you handle that?
The thing that I realize right now is that Tyrant actually has no idea and also Ludix has no idea what is happening on the other side. And that's final. That's final game. You should know what is happening on the other side. I mean, especially that Mog just said, Wrecktify suiciding me, I was defending, I lost my expos. You should send something, because now, okay, Tyrant might kill Calypso, but at what cost?
Mm-hmm.
He might be facing level 6 Dark Ranger and level 6 Panda on the other side with 10,000 gold.
Yeah, and on the opposite side, though, I mean, there's not been particularly good scouting from either Mog or Wreck on Tyrant and Calypso. I mean, there's been pretty poor scouting all around, which is understandable when you're in that big fight. Looks like the Torn Chieftain getting low again. Got to be careful not to lose that. But at this point, I do think it would work out better for Wrecktify. However, nobody can claim to have good scouting so far this game.
Yeah, actually, I think it's mostly luck that actually it is favoring Wrecktify right now.
Yep,
yeah.
So Calypso, I hate to say it, but that's not turning out well for him. It does look like he is going to force Tyrant to TP out. And somehow he still has a lot of gold. I mean, Calypso with 4,600 gold, but only 100 wood. So that's what's going to have to be taken advantage of by Tyrant, is the fact that Calypso is not going to be able to rebuild his army. And picking off those wyverns will be crucial in his cause to stay alive right now.
What I notice is that the Wrecktify actually doesn't finish off Mog, and instead I think he believes Mog has a lot more gold, like 5,000 maybe. He just mentioned build an army and stuff, and Mog just cannot build an army. He has no gold, so.
Yeah, and Mog had a lot of expansions earlier, so I think that's probably why Wrecktify is overestimating how much gold he has.
Oh, and now it's Wrecktify actually trying to kill Ludix, Shadowhunter.
Yeah, which is a bold
Calypso.
choice there.
Yeah.
I don't know if Wrecktify is going to try and finish off Calypso right now.
Does he even know that the main base is down of Calypso?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not only is the main base down, but I mean, Tyrant's turned that into his expansion as well.
Yeah.
I'm just
However, all these feeds...
Calypso really trying to get a little help right now.
Yeah, but he's Orc, and I highly doubt that he'll get the help he needs. We'll see though.
Yeah, and in addition to that, I mean, the first person to get knocked out almost never gets any help here. And this looks like it's going to be a pretty good fight for Tyrant. You can just see how powerful that nuke is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yet you can see that he's a pretty sloppy player, it seems like, with the micro.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that he's facing a TC, so you should make the first rule if you face a TC is just don't let your fiends stay together. Try to split them as soon as possible, and well, his weapons were all webbed.
Yep.
It also seems like that his destroyer micro is a little bit sloppy as well. His dispel is always late when he has Spirit Link and Bloodlust, and especially healing wards, which actually helps Calypso a lot.
Tyrant has a lot of strengths, but his micro is not one of the big ones.
Well, he has decent micro nevertheless.
He's got decent, but I mean, it's not on par with a lot of the other high-level players. What makes Tyrant so good is his just general grasp of free-for-all.
Yeah, but I also think that that's really nice in FFA that not only micro actually wins this game.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I think micro plays less of a role than a lot of other things within it. I mean, Wrecktify is good at micro. He's got, I'd say, above average, but what makes Wrecktify so incredibly good at this game is he just understands other players. Really, I think the only race you need to have superb micro and great everything else to compete with is Undead. Everything else you can kind of get away with.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the AM6, Archmage level 6. With Orc, you got your whole army and hero combinations, and then as an elf, you can just Zeph and hit and run, and you got Rejuvenation, Entangle, Silence.
More importantly, you have Chimeras, which you can A-click, and Hippogriffs, which will automatically attack air for you. It makes life easier.
The broken race.
Mog getting pretty close to level 3 on that Keep of the Grove, which might actually make a difference for him. Unfortunately, he does not have any real damage. He's got one Chimera going, but I'm really surprised that Wrecktify has not tried to finish Mog off. I guess he doesn't want to be the first person to finish somebody off, and instead he's hoping that he can convince Mog to team whoever survives that fight. I mean, he is running off of 4 expansions, so he's going to be at an advantage gold-wise, but...
However, he has one of the expansions of Mog, and Mog doesn't seem to care. I mean, he just passed through all the expansions, and now if he goes Tyrant, I would not understand this decision.
Yeah.
Really.
Unless he's hoping to finish off Tyrant and eventually go kill Calypso and kill Mog immediately after, but I would think Tyrant would be the last person
he
to
goes
hit.
Tyrant. I don't understand this decision at all.
Yeah,
He's even broke. Wrecktify has his expansion. Oh well.
And now, yeah.
And now we observe what happens to the mighty undead base that dies ever so quickly.
The only thing I can think of is there is pretty good experience for Wrecktify by taking out a lot of Tyrant, but I mean, Tyrant just getting shafted on this.
Yeah,
This is a weird turn of the
Mog
game.
here doesn't really play well. He hasn't Scarlet, also pretty good. And now he takes Tyrant's expansion.
Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't try and attack.
At least to get one of his own
Rectify's.
expansions back from Wrecktify. I think Wreck will give him actually without fighting. Just if he asks for it, he will give it back.
And Tyrant continued to try and take out the rest of Calypso's base, it looks like. I would think one of our elves would think it would be a good idea to go finish off Calypso. That seems like pretty easy experience, and you don't want the orc running around all game.
Yeah.
Well, plus he's just sitting on one base, basically got nothing to produce.
Yeah.
40-40, nothing else.
Well, he has a second base actually. He has at 7 o'clock the natural, and he's staying at 50. So...
He could get built back into it via gold. You'd think it'd be a natural, just next step for Mog to go kill Calypso's expansion above that, though. I mean, that's got 17,000 in it, and that would seem to be a lot more worth it than the 10,000 one he just killed off on Tyrant. And it's unlikely Calypso's going to do any damage to Mog, whereas Tyrant could do a lot of damage to him.
Yeah, I actually think that would be a correct decision, especially that he has level 3 Panda. And he knows that Wrecktify has level 5 Panda. That's one of the things that I don't understand, is that like he knows that he cannot win an aerial fight against Wrecktify with level 3 Panda and level 3 Keeper, and still he attacked Tyrant without first scouting the expansions. Actually, he did see the expansions of Wrecktify and still didn't get one of his own. Oh well, let's see how it will develop.
Yep, he will pick up his level 4 Panda here from a few remaining creeps, so that is helpful. And he's got level 6 Demon Hunter. That'll be interesting to see how the Demon Hunter will play into the game, because we do see the Dark Ranger obviously has a huge role in Night Elf v Night Elf with silence and preventing the Panda from being able to use its skills. But Demon Hunter is great in the big 100v100 fights. I mean, it's a strong hero, and if you properly abuse Mana Burn, then... it really can play a huge difference. So if Mog plays this right, he may be able to take an upper hand in the fights, and certainly in Hero Arena he will be able to.
Rectify just said half of his gold that he has, so some subtle manipulation here.
Let's see, is Mog buying anything from here? It's nothing terribly interesting. There is a Claws plus 12, Django of Endurance, which I believe he has, Ankh of Reincarnation, but nothing huge.
No.
And here we go. It looks like Tyrant going to try and finish off Calypso. I really like this decision, because if he can get the Dreadlord 6, then Tyrant's going to be in very good shape with his heroes.
Yeah. And also, Ludix just manipulated against him, and I think he will be like, he finished me off very quickly, and he didn't lose much. So it's nice to make him shut up by just finishing him off. So, We'll see how it will work though.
Yeah, and I'm impressed by Tyrant's ability to keep his head right here. Wrecktify continuing to hit Tyrant, though, really odd. I'm not sure why he's doing this, although Wrecktify is up to 10,000.
Wrecktify is doing it because he knows that he has the level advantage against Mog, and also the gold advantage. And he feels confident in aerial fights against him. That's why he does it. What I don't understand is why Mog also killed Tyrant, though. Tyrant's expansion.
I suppose, but on the other hand, it would seem easier to go fight the two 1v1s, and I presume Wrecktify is confident he can take Tyrant in a 1v1 once all is said and done. Tyrant is unlikely to stop attacking Calypso to come hit Wrecktify, but Mog is very likely to go hit Wrecktify, because Mog's not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't agree with Wrecktify's decision right now to attack Tyrant. On the other hand, if you can grab that level 5 Keeper of the Grove, that would certainly be very, very helpful.
I agree with his decision. He knows he's the richest, and he's just using the pressure because he even charmed the
Kodo Beast. Yep, that was a nice move on his part.
Yeah. He also knows that Ludix is still on Tyrant. I feel it's a good decision.
Now it's a question of what will Mog do.
He should hoard. I don't know why he
There
stays.
we go. This would be a good decision. Mog finishing off Calypso would be good gold, and then they can 2v1 Wrecktify from there.
Yeah, but he just apologized, so...
Nope, here we go. So he is now deliberately engaging him, so I think this is a very good move by Mog, although targeting that Torrent Chieftain first does have that potion of invulnerability on it. Not going to be able to do too much. Probably should have tried to knock down the Spirit Walker, but now feeding it right back into Tyrant. Tyrant does take down that Torrent Chieftain very quickly. Rough move there for Calypso, and weirder things have happened, but I'm beginning to think that Calypso's days are numbered, and it will not be long before he is taken out completely.
I have a theory why actually Ludix is currently in such a bad shape. This season, the light blue color is just not working properly, so by picking this color, he just sealed his doom. I think that's
pretty much just the color. That's the reason.
Yeah.
And Mog is now going to kill off Calypso, or looks like he was going to. Who really knows what he's doing at this point?
He's a bit indecisive.
Yeah. We've had some very friendly players this game. Lots of people asking to be left alone. Tyrant is just one track. He's determined to finish off Calypso and doing a good job at it so far.
Yeah. He actually has Inferno now.
Alright, Wrecktify chatting to the Observer. So it looks like Wrecktify going to try and take out Mog here, which I think is a good move on his part. We do see that level 5 Keeper of the Grove come out. He is in perfect position right now to try and completely eliminate Mog. I think this is a very, very wise decision on his point. Mog does have 7,000 left, but he is going to be unable to use it. TP is not able to get there in time. Ancients of Wind will be going down momentarily, I believe, and Wrecktify, really very smooth customer right there. Nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, Mog should have expected that. I have no idea why he thought the attacking Tyrant would be fine and leaving Wrecktify that has 2 levels above him.
And Mog's got 77 versus 100 for Wrecktify, so this fight definitely going to be in favor of Wrecktify starting off. We'll see how it gets turned around. Silence does go off on the Panda there. Scrolls for Wrecktify. Everything is just lining up in Wreck's favor right now, except the fact that Mog appears to have a much heavier Hippogriff-based army. There are too many Chimeras for Wreck, so Wreck is going to be forced to TP out there. Panda almost goes down, but just gets saved in time. However, I don't like Mog's continuing chances. Does have 6,000 gold, but he needs to start rebuilding quickly.
Yeah.
Tyrant taking the opportunity to try and completely finish off Calypso at the moment. We'll see if he manages to work that one out.
Actually, that was really surprising how he managed to fend Wrecktify off with just the 40 supply less.
I think it's the fact that Wrecktify had his army base to fight Tyrants, just hit and running. I mean, that was a heavy Chimera army, and obviously Tyrant at the moment has a very ground-based army. So Mog had pretty much his entire army invested in air, which works well to a point. However, he's not got anything to really hurt Wrecktify with. I mean, we can see him attacking the Tree of Life right now, but he just has 3 heroes sitting it.
Yeah. And now he'll get level 5 Panda as well.
If he kills the tree.
Yeah, I don't know. Wrecktify probably will go ahead and take down the rest of his base right now. But He could decide to TP in there, and I think he would certainly have the advantage. All it's going to take is one big panda hit to wipe out most of Mog's army.
Yeah, but I think by not finishing off Wrecktify in the first attack, he lost a lot of gold and momentum, and now he actually has no expansion anymore.
Who doesn't?
Or does? Wrecktify.
Rex got 1. He's got a natural.
Yeah, just the natural, yeah. But 3,000 gold. Only 3,000.
Yeah. On the other hand, he does have 11,000 banked already.
That's just 2 armies. It can easily go down.
I suppose. I think he's in pretty good shape right now.
Monk has 8,000. He can quickly rebuild, and he already is.
Yep. I like the position that Mog is rebuilding in. I think that's a very good position for it. It's close to Calypso, who probably take the brunt of the focus. And Wrecktify going to TP in, though, so if Mog leads him into his base, that could be bad news.
Yeah, well, I don't think Mog will lead him there. And he
Mog
should
really
TP
can't
out.
win that fight.
TP.
Oof.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little too close to comfort, probably.
Yeah, I don't know why he waited for so long. And
now the army split up as well.
He should move the panda away.
And Calypso could join in the fun here as well. We'll see if Calypso is what he is planning to do with his army right now. But Mog now completely scouted out where his rebuild was trying to go, at least, and Wrecktify able to take out a early lease on that, make sure it doesn't happen.
But he already has a Tree of Ages. I don't know why he's rebuilding it. He was rebuilding it in that spot. He already has Tree of Ages, and he can rebuild it. He can rebuild his Ancient of Winds at his natural, for instance, or somewhere
so there
else.
is there is a staff on that Keep of the Grove, and the Demon Hunter just barely getting out of there. That was risky business right there. Now the Keep of the Grove TPing away as well. We'll see. Yep, bad spot right here. The Demon Hunter going down. I thought that might be where it was going, and that was just a double click and staff. Bad news for Mog. Very unfortunate, and it's at his currently highest tech tree. That's not going to go well. So Mog continues to have a lot of gold, but nothing to do with it right now. It's going to take a lot of impressive hiding ability to continue to rebuild.
Yeah, and well, Tyrant is finally switching up to gargoyles. However, his heroes are do not have much items. It's like his Lich has slippers of agility and doesn't even have boots and neither periods of vitality. So.
And Calypso is able to rebuild a little bit now. He's got bestiaries going. He doesn't have much gold, but at least he has one main mine with 12,000 gold in it still. So he's got an army that's not going to be a walkover for sure. He could put up a little bit of a fight against Tyrant.
Yeah. However, they beast, and now all 3 players are against Wrecktify. And he has the most gold, 11,000, but he has no mines, practically no mines.
And
plus, Mox guy is actually losing a lot of buildings right now. He loses completely his whole main. Rectify's definitely finishing off right there, at least at his sides. And well, I think even though Mox played really well, actually, he's in a really bad position. He's basically surrounded right now by Tyrant and Ludix. Plus, he has Rectify on his ass, basically facing 3 guys right now.
Yeah, so if you guys were in Rectify's shoes, what would you try to do to get out of this? I mean, obviously you don't want to be facing a 3v1 all game. And you've got several players who are kind of weaker. You could take any of them individually, but it's tough to defend against everybody at once. So what do you think an appropriate reaction to this is?
He has to finish the weakest one, and I think that would be Ludix in that situation. And I think he's actually going for him.
Tyrant continuing to hit Ludix as well.
No, I think he's just nearby.
Oh, okay, that was an auto attack, I think.
Yeah.
And here we go. Rectify does appear to go for Ludix as well. Should have the manpower to pretty easily take him out right now. And there we go, bringing in the Chimeras last.
He asked where, but he just... Oh. Tyrant just missed the battle with...
Oof, there goes that Torn Chieftain. Blade Master looking very low as well. very heavily composed Chimera army for Recta right now. Keeping that Kodo Beast in the back there, that creates a great bit of DPS right now. Let's see if the Panda will survive this. It's getting very low right now. Needs to use its ultimate. Just gets staffed out in time. And the Blade Master does go down for Calypso. So Calypso, after rebuilding his army, all the struggles of that, pretty much dies instantaneously. Rec is losing some extra expansions right now, however, that is really not what you need to be doing. There we go, level 8 on the Dark Ranger, so may have managed to take out Calypso, and in comes Mog. We'll see how well he can fight. Mog does have a pretty strong Hippogriff army. A lot of the AA has been taken out for Wrecktify already, so this could be a good chance for Mog to raid some heroes. Yep, Kodo does go down as well.
Just as I mentioned, Wreck now is 67 food with 10,000, but when he rebuilds, he would be at like 7,000 and in a 2 versus 1 position. I don't really like his position now.
Depends how Tyrant plays the late game, I think, but smart move on his part there, TPing out. And Wrecktify now going to go ahead and try to get some manipulation in. So Tyrant does have 4,000. At 78, Rec has 10,000 at 60, but is capped at 90, and then Mog has 6,500 at 43. So,
wait, how did the Panda die of Rectify? He staffed it, no?
It must have died when it got back. He did staff it, but it must have been one of those like cross-map Chimera hits.
Oh,
I didn't notice that either.
Huh. Well, now actually, if Durant attacks him without the Panda, that might be really bad for Rectify.
Yeah, Tyrant continuing, he has one 5,000 mine. Rectify is without a mine at the moment, and Mog has a bunch of different expos going up, so Mog could be getting himself a pretty big gold advantage coming back into the game if he is able to fly under the radar.
Yep. And I think he will, because right now it's Rectify and Tyrant that are in the leading position, and Mog will... They undervalue his gold, I think. They probably think that he has like 1k and just rebuilding and trying to survive, but...
Yep, and Tyrant agrees to go ahead and let Mog's Expo live, so you can already tell how this is going to shape up a little bit. I like the fact that Wrecktify is going straight back to a 100 food army and not trying to get cute, stay at 80 food or something like that. I think that's a really wise choice on his part, and Night Elves have to be very careful that they don't try to stay at 80 too long, because you're really just pretty weak at that level. And he's not mining right now, so there's no reason to undervalue his strength.
Yeah.
Calypso continues to try to rebuild. He's tenacious, if nothing else.
Well, of course, I mean, he might sneak some chance, I don't know, like, you never know. You never know. It's
that
the
is
final
true.
game. You can always somehow win.
You might as well try as long as you can, but interesting that Tyrant is not trying to finish off Calypso now while he has the chance.
I don't know why he doesn't buy some scroll healings, like, or area-ups or something. His heroes are so weak and they can die to Chimera focus so quickly, especially the Lich.
So Mog continuing to scatter on the map, I guess. A little bit unclear what his goal right now is. I suppose he's just trying to hoard up. We'll be at 50 while he's mining off 3 mines pretty soon. Possibly even a 4th mine coming out, so gotta like that. And Rectify, I think, gonna do the smart thing here and try to kill off Mog.
He tried to beast Mog for some reason. However, I feel like Rek should just go and finish off Mog before he actually rebuilds fully.
Yeah, Mog has long-term implications that would be tough to fight right now. Tyrant actually spread out over the map pretty nicely. It'd be tough to kill him as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, Rek's in a tough position right now. He's got the overall strength, but nothing that you really would feel comfortable doing. He might just try to finish off Calypso and at least eliminate one person out of the game.
Yeah, and probably that's what, he's going to do that.
Yep, so Mog trying to convince Tyrant to go up to 100 while Mog gets to stay at 50. If he manages to pull that off, I will be impressed.
Yeah. It was like, oh, so it would be nice if you just fight him and I just stay in peace.
Yeah, could you do all my dirty work for me? That would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's more or less what he asked him to do.
So if you're in, say, Tyrant or Mog's position right now, do you try and actually fight Wrecktify's army, or do you try and do some damage at his base?
Yeah. Maybe one can answer this.
Yeah, what do you think, Wan?
Well, I think that this is really. I think Wrecktify actually has the best spot right now in this game. I guess in my position, if I would be Tyrant or Mog, I guess I would actually group up with all of these three guys with Ludix or something, because as you can see, no one actually has a really large army to keep up with Wrecktify, since he also has like 5k. 6k gold, so you know that if you play hit and run, or you are actually able to or manage to kill at least a few units of this army, it's really hard to keep up with this reinforcement, since he has so much gold and you are basically sitting on like 2k less or something. Plus Rectify is basically just raping everyone's mind right now. So I think playing alone would be really, really bad in my opinion. Just try to get an ally and slow him down with army, kill as much as possible. Try him to get back.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Tyrant's Undead combination, and then you add in Mog's Panda, that could do a lot of damage to Rectify's army. You do have to be careful, though, because the Keeper of the Grove makes it much tougher to get away in those situations. I mean, obviously, as Undead, you want to be able to kite as much as possible, but the little help that you get from Night Elf is that Keeper of the Grove. Also looks like Ludix is going to go ahead and kill himself off to try and observe now.
Yeah, and Rectify is going Tyrant.
It also seems like Tyrant is the only one who can keep up with Rectify right now, but there's so much air for him. The only way to keep up with this fight for him is just by hit and run, over, carry and spawn, try to finish off single units with a coil or something. There's actually no chance for him to kill any hero right now. 1325 HP for the Panda, gets leaped, but Rectify doesn't really dare to get in there because he knows he can't really face and on it right here on Blight, plus his heroes are just quite too high. Face him and hit and run in his back.
Yeah,
So
Tyrant
Mog is not helping for some reason, so it's
Mog is
just
finishing
going to
off
be him.
Calypso. Yeah, and Tyrant playing the dangerous game of not going to 100 food. I mean, we see this all the time. People just try to get that little extra gold, get greedy. Nice job using the ultimate on the Panda there, make sure it stays alive. But, I mean, Tyrant down to 63 now, and if he completely dies, he may not have a chance to rebuild. So Rectify, nice fight here. I think even if he is going to lose more than he'd be comfortable losing ordinarily, Tyrant down to 60 cap. So once this Necropolis goes out and the remaining Ziggurats, then Tyrant may not have the ability to rebuild. Mog just kind of letting Tyrant take it. I mean,
I
Mog
really don't
must
understand.
be super confident.
Yeah.
I really don't understand how this Lich still is alive. Like, he has Panda Ultimate, he has Entangle, he has Raw Chimeras with 3-3. Like, all he has to do is just Entangle the Lich, Cyclone the Death Knight all the time. Like, he cycloned him twice or 3 triumphs in a row, but yet the Lich is still alive. He has no invulnerability, there's no coil available, he has only 700 health, there's no Peripl Fatality on him, so he's basically just one click and yet he's still alive.
Yeah.
He should focus the Panda right now.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
Panda is
coil the
low. It
Panda.
could go down pretty quickly. It does not have enough
Coil
for its
over the
ultimate.
Panda.
And charms off a Fiend. Yeah, not sure why they're not trying to go ahead and coil over that Panda. That could go down pretty quickly there. And there we go.
Yeah, whoa,
Boom,
finally.
boom, and forced a TP out there, so
Yeah.
Rectify just overextending a little bit. I think he could have done a lot more damage there.
Yeah,
But at the same time, Mok is actually coming back a little bit in behind.
Yeah, Mog's actually not in bad shape.
He's
He's got
100
5,000.
food.
Yep, 100 food, and he's got a very strong Hippogriff-based army, which for now at least is going to be helpful, because, I mean, he needs to gain some hero levels to match Rectify, and the best way to do that is just to completely take out all of Rectify's air. So if Mog and Rectify fight straight up, then my money goes to Mog coming out on top, just due to all the AA he has.
And actually, Mog has every single expansion right now that has gold. Nobody seems to bat an eye about this. Nobody cares. So Rectify is at 80 right now, trying to mine the 300 gold.
Well, do you think that Mog is maybe trying or overextending a little bit with 100 supply? Like, don't you think that he should have just scouted Rectify so far, and just wait on until he tries to get another 100 supply? And well, if he knows that he's heading one of his expansion, then he could just easily produce more units, because now he's just losing much more gold than if he would just sit on 50 or at least 70.
I think if he attacks now, since Rectify basically has no anti-air, well, he has, but much less than Mod, he would gain a huge advantage out of him. He'll probably even have a level 5 keeper and the gold advantage, etc. So, but he's just waiting. I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, they're going together actually.
Yeah, if anything, I would be a little worried from Mog's perspective of having 3 expansions while nobody else has a single expansion, but Tyrant seems pretty clear that he's not going to be hitting Mog, and Mog not very threatening to Tyrant at the moment with all his anti-air. So that's actually working out well for him, but ordinarily I think getting that many expansions this late in the game is something that you really have to worry about being a cause for getting teamed. Rectify not letting them take the fight to him and instead going to hit Tyrant, which is a very smart move in my opinion. You don't want to have that fight in your base. You want to be able to control it on your own terms and TP out if you need to.
Yeah, but he might get death and decay in his base.
That's true, and yeah, they may continue, but I think Tyrant wants to save his base.
And Rectify builds up his anti-air way too late, and now it will just die off when it pops out.
All of his Ancients of Wind are right in the front of the base. The one advantage he does have is Mog does not have Chimeras to take out his base very quickly.
Yeah. He has so many TPs.
And Panda looking very low there, maybe forced to TP out. Panda goes down, that's going to be problematic. This could turn into a rout if it's a good Breath of Fire combo. Mog's anti-air just completely dominating, but the Keeper of the Grove does go down there. So ground battle going to Rectify for sure, however, that is a lot of Hippogriffs that Rectify is going to have to deal with.
And now all the Chimeras might go down.
Big Breath of Fire there. That was very well lined up for Rectify and very poorly thought out by Mog.
Yeah, but why is he running with this Panda? Like, there's no entangle, nothing else. He can just one-shot all of this anti-air of the info groups right now.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get them chased and lined up pretty much. Damn, I love Mog, but that was really brutal there.
He's like only 8.
So Mog is lost.
Rectify is not really paying attention to his Dark Ranger.
Oh, yeah.
He must have completely forgotten and it slipped out of his control group or something. Although I do wonder if perhaps he's trying to convince Mog to hit Tyrant. I mean, that would be a very aggressive manipulation, but I know certainly had Sexy claim that he loses units on purpose to convince other people to help team, so we'll see if that comes into factor here. It does look like Rectify going to go ahead and get out. Smart move now because he's really low on all those Chimeras.
And actually, Tyrant actually attacked his Hippogriffs. He actually carried on and coiled some of them, so but I don't think Mog actually realized this. And now Rectify is basically broken. He cannot even go 100 foot.
Yeah, do you think Rectify realizes how incredibly rich Mog is? Because he's asking Mog to team against Tyrant, but it almost makes sense at this point to ask Tyrant to team against Mog.
Yeah, nobody's scouting that Mog has 3 running expansions.
There we
I
go.
can't believe
Tyrant is hitting Mog now.
I think, well, at overall, this game is actually lacking of scouting since the start.
No, that's definitely been the weak point so far.
I think
I can't believe this
Calypso
final game.
Yeah, well, even in the early game, Calypso hasn't scouted even once, I think, to his neighbor, Tyrant. What he's actually doing. Like, I was already wondering why Tyrant went for an early Temple of the Damned.
Yeah, and that's always been the biggest knock on Calypso, I believe, is the fact that he is a very predictable opening, and really at this point, not many free-for-all players scout well early game. You get the first scout to see where the other players are, but then a lot of people are left completely open to getting rushed since nobody realizes that that people can hit before like the 10-minute mark or the 12-minute mark. I mean, it's so accepted in free-for-all that everybody's going to hoard up as much gold as they can and just play it out a slow type of game that when somebody does hit early, almost everybody is caught completely unprepared.
Yeah, and Still, nobody called out the 3 expansions of Moga. I cannot believe this. Oh,
Well,
okay.
there we go.
Just
Just as he did it. But yeah, no, I mean, Mog is getting a ton of gold out of this, but
does he have
he's got to
Chimera
be teamed
Roosts?
for it soon. Yeah, he has Chimera Roosts
Yeah. On
down in the bottom.
Bottom of the map, center, yeah.
Which is interesting that he chose to build them there.
Yeah, actually, they can go down easily that way.
Mm-hmm. On the other hand, it does allow for him to continue to build if they hit his main. I kind of like the idea of building them separately, but I'd like to see one of the Tree of Life by the Chimera Roost to help save them if need be.
I feel like if Mog goes 100 now and attacks either Wreck or Tyrant, he would be in a good spot.
Yeah, I think so. And it does look like Mog is going at least 80, but it's probably also tempting to continue to hoard right now. I mean, if you feel like you're in a good position, and these are literally 3 of the last 4 mines on the map, then you're probably hoping you can continue to just hoard on a hit, and Mog's had great luck with that so far.
Yeah, but it's a bit too greedy in my opinion.
It is. No, I think it's too greedy. I think it's been too greedy for most of the game, but they appear to be okay with it.
Yeah, but nevertheless, it gives Tyrant and Wrecktify time to coordinate their teaming. Probably, I mean, if eventually they realize all this.
You would think.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, he should act fast now. He
I
should
think so,
realize
too.
that he's the richest, and by far.
And this is a great opportunity for some experience for his heroes. I mean, maybe he's just waiting for... No, he's got all 3 heroes. But the other players have much better heroes, and if they did teaming just 6 heroes versus Mog's entire army, I would bet on their 6 heroes.
Yeah, but Tyrant doesn't have a lot of buildings. He has basically no gold, and he's right next to Mog. Mog can attack him pretty quickly without Rectify coming fast enough to help him. I don't even know why Mog is letting Tyrant get this gold.
Yep, I don't know. I love Rectify's comment. Finishing mines means he has more gold, not that the problem went away. I think that's something a lot of players don't realize is if you can completely mine out a mine, then that's even worse than still mining it.
Yeah.
And there we go. Mog finishes off another mine there. So that leaves him with 1 remaining mine at 6,000. He's got 6,600, which will be finished soon. But
why doesn't he detonate his wisps? He doesn't need them at all. Just free some supply here. He has 6,000 wood.
Yeah. The only thing I can think is maybe he's going to try and hide them around the map in case he needs to play a late base race.
But he already has so many around the map. I mean, I see orange dots everywhere.
No, I agree with you.
He can have like 2 chimeras for all these useless wisps around the map.
Yeah, I don't know. Mog has to go ahead and go up to 100 right now. Eventually he's going to get teamed. They're going to figure out he's got the most gold by far.
Yeah, I don't know why he thinks that he can manipulate himself out of this. There is no way. I mean, at some point they'll realize, yeah.
And Mog going to take down Tyrant now. So, smart move on his part there. And exactly what he needs to do. And he needs to just continue it, and he can probably try and take out all of Tyrant in one go.
Demon Hunter almost level 8.
Yep. And that Demon Hunter going to play a huge role late game. And the advantage of taking out Tyrant is he probably cannot take Tyrant in Hero Arena, but he probably can take Wrecktify in Hero Arena.
Yeah, Rectify has only 3,000 gold, so I think he can like produce once or maybe twice to 100 supply, not even
Yeah,
twice.
he'll get up to 1,000 supply once, probably.
Not really, no, I don't think he can reach 1,000 supply. He can reach like 80, and probably he won't go. He won't build an army because he needs money for town portals and potions.
That's true.
Vulnerability, yeah. So I think he'll just hide like 3 or 4 chimeras, some hippogriffs, and with the heroes he'll try to harass. That's my prediction of how he will approach these games now.
What are we paused for? I didn't even see what that was.
Tyrant has to go
okay.
to the bathroom.
Gotcha. I was wondering if we just decided to pause because we had like an intermission halfway through the game or something like that. Hopefully it's not halfway. That would be a long game if it was.
Yeah, so far actually just an hour.
Yeah, it's been a good game so far. I'm impressed. I'm hoping it continues to be a good game and we don't have everybody sitting around for a long time.
Well, we have one player that is like very rich and has decent heroes on top of that, and one half dead player and Wrecktify. So we'll see if they somehow team him before it's too late.
I think they're gonna start teaming him now. I think they'll start teaming Mog now because Mog is Tyrant, and Wrecktify thinks this is a great opportunity to go charm some chimeras and get them back into his base.
What he needs to be careful is that his Keeper of the Groove has no potion, neither town portal. So if he gets rooted, he can.
Yeah, just carrying around a single Staff of Preservation, which is kind of interesting. I would think he'd want at least 2 as a Night Elf player.
Yeah. And if he staffs charmed chimeras, then the staff would be on cooldown, and he has to use a town portal for whatever hero he has to save.
So here we go. It does look like we'll have 6 heroes against Mog's army. Although Wrecktify apparently just running away now. He's got no control over his heroes.
By the way, Mog made fairy dragons. It's a good choice.
Yeah.
They're at his main base.
That actually will be pretty helpful.
We
can thank Renault for the resurgence in fairy dragons. What were you going to say, Juan?
See.
Well, I actually think that Rectify is running low on staffs, in my opinion. I think he should at least run on 2, so he can staff with the... Well, since he's going for a Dark Range and she's already level 9, so he can staff the new unit that he just gained. And if he's in a really bad position, he can still staff with the other hero, one of his heroes out of there, since Penner and Dark Ranger got a really high movement speed compared to the Keeper, even though he has boots.
I completely agree. And
by the way, he just charmed an illusion. That was... Yeah,
well played by Mog there. But now we do see Mog has a ton of hippogriffs, which are in the fight for absolutely no reason. He needs to move those out of the way there. He's lost a few already, and there's just no reason for them to be there. But him continuing to push on here, I think that he's shown so far he's done a nice job of not dying instantly to the 2v1. I'm curious when we're going to see the Dreadlord's ultimate come out here.
Yeah, actually, we haven't seen any Inferno so far, I think.
No, and that's something that should be abused at all times. Mog's Keeper of the Grove is very low.
What a bad Breath of Fire by Mog. Hit in there. Nothing, actually.
And Lich getting low here, too. So,
Keeper as well.
Yep, Keeper going to be forced to TP out there. Smart move by Mog. Mog down to 80. So, he started out at 100 on this one and quickly dropped down to 80. I think Wrecktify's got to like the fact that these fights are taking place in Tyrant's base and not his, so Tyrant is the one losing buildings as we go.
Yeah. However, if I was in Mog's position right now, I would heal immediately and press on Tyrant, because Tyrant used all his mana on both Dreadlord and Lich. He has only 1 carry-on and 1 Nova right now. So, in my opinion, the smart move would be to continue to press.
Yep, I agree completely. And on top of that, I mean, if he can force Wrecktify to TP out once by getting that Keeper low or just something along those lines, then...
Ooh, nice move. He just down portaled at the marketplace.
Yeah, but he barely has Hippogriff, so...
Yeah, he's going
You can
to
still
kill...
go for a main.
So very nice move there by Mog. Yeah, Wrecktify is cleverly separating everything. But actually, I like this move quite a bit because of the fact that now Tyrant won't be able to help him. Wrecktify is going to have to use all of his gold to try and mass up there, but not going to be able to. Tree of Eternity going down, and Tyrant going to go for Mog's main base, but Mog is so spread out that I think he can afford to trade that.
Yeah,
they are just now realizing how much gold Mog has.
I think Mog is very happy to hear that they're going for his main base right now. He can just finish off every Moonwell of Wrecktify and every production building.
Yep. I'm trying to see, does Wrecktify have a tree anywhere? He does have a Tree of Life at 3 o'clock, and he's got most of his army down there around 4 or 5 o'clock. Mog now TPing in, so done a bunch of damage and trying to come save this. Tree of Eternity is not yet dead for him, so that's a good news in Mog's favor. And hoping to just split them up here. Does get the split with the Fairy Dragons going off to one side, Undead going the other way, so does have the ability to get pincered right now, but he's probably hoping he can take out at least one of Rectify's heroes right now. Unfortunately, it looks like Wrecktify will stay out. Yeah.
But really a nice and wise decision by Mog to switch over Fury Rings right now.
We still haven't seen the Infernal come out yet, have we?
Yeah,
no
Infernal.
I think he went for sleep level 3 actually.
But he's level 7 and he has no aura, so he must have it.
Maybe he's just leaving it untrained.
I really cannot understand why we are not seeing Inferno. It's like one of the best ultimates in the game.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the few things Undead has going for it. And Wrecktify now looks like he's probably going to try and just keep the rest of his army hidden down here in the corner. I'm somewhat surprised he's not actually moving it off the map. Mog has not done any scouting yet to see if there is a hidden army, which if I was in his position, I would be worried that both the players had hidden armies on the field.
Well, Tyrant also has some gargoyles hidden on the
Yeah, he's got some. A little hard to tell how much, but I mean, I presume that's about 12.
It's not that hard. It's he has 20 food of hero statues and 2 acolytes, so it's like 30 food of gargoyles.
Okay.
That means 15 gargoyles. It's not too shabby.
Yeah, but I also think there will be a game change moment very soon once Panda hits level 6 for Mog. So yes, you have the ultimate plus the Cyclone available, so he can finally at least kill the Lich or something. The next fight. Like still, the Lich has only one Fairy of the Fatality finally, but no Potion of Invulnerability or any survivability items.
Yeah, that's true. Why is he not rooting the Lich right now?
He was just trying, but Fog actually denied it.
Okay.
TP out there for Tyrant, that's going to be costly. And on the other side, we do have Wrecktify continuing to just take out a few of the buildings as he can, but now we see the strength actually of Mog's base being basically a quarter of the map stretching out. It's rather hard to get a good breath of fire off on them. It's only going to hit 1 or 2 buildings at a time. And Wrecktify actually making use of the tree ant, something that hasn't been seen for quite a while.
And now the Mog is going to finish off his wells. And that would leave Wrecktify only with the Tranquility ultimate of the Keeper for healing.
Which things could be worse for sure, but if I'm Mog, after I kill off this main base, I'm probably thinking that there can't be that many remaining buildings, and it might be worth it to hunt it down and ignore Tyrant, so Wrecktify could be in some trouble now.
Yeah.
Oh, Inferno for the first time.
Oh yeah, here he is.
Only took us 30 minutes of being level 6. That is the one downside of these fairies, they do not kill buildings very quickly.
Yeah.
But don't you guys actually think that if Wrecktify would have gone for a Demon Hunter first, it would be much easier for Tyrant and Wrecktify himself to fight Mog? Like Dark Ranger is actually really nice now to steal units, but otherwise he's just able to silence heroes and, well, just to keep on, try to hit and run and stuff. With the Demon Elite
Mhm.
could actually take a fight, in my opinion, with the ultimate, with the Metaforces, the Orb, splash damage, with Cowers damage, and the tank stuff that actually DR brings with himself.
Demon Hunter
Yeah.
is definitely a better hero arena hero, I believe. But also Rectify might not have done as well as he did early game if not for the Dark Ranger. I mean, silence early on was just incredibly helpful for him, and he might not have the same hero levels had he gone for that Demon Hunter first. You saw
Mhm.
early on how he was able to completely neutralize Mog's Panda just because he would get that silence off so early every time.
Mhm. Yeah, Dark Ranger is very helpful in the beginning, also to creep fast. And by the way, Morg now is supply blocked.
But now he
And
does
he's,
have about a bajillion different wisps around the map.
yeah, maybe now they're going to be useful.
He is rebuilding another Tree of Life. He still has by far the most gold, but he is down to 5,500. So that's
Mhm.
something to keep an eye on.
And Rectify just has 1-3. If he loses that Tree of Life, he's basically dead.
Yeah, he's got to be
You
trying to
cannot
figure out a way
rebuild
to
it.
hide it.
Yeah.
But Rectify does have his entire army together, which is interesting. I would think he'd want to
Yeah,
keep
and
it hidden.
Tyrant just saw it. And Tyrant just saw it with the shade. And he even said that's 100. Which obviously is not, because he thinks that there may be wisps, but that's just wispless army. And now he might get teamed.
I was going to say, is Tyrant actually considering teaming against Rectify with Mog? Because that would be pretty much catastrophic.
He might be considering, he might be thinking that his hidden gargoyles are going to be enough
Mog
to win.
has 3 Ancients of Wind left. His Tree of Eternity is back up to full health. But there we go. Rectify slowly moving along and doing some extra stuff here. He should go ahead and charm one of these wisps. That would be rather helpful.
Yeah, and just Tyrant just said he has to help Mog against Rectify.
Yeah, now Rectify trying to turn it against Tyrant. I mean, Rectify clearly just doesn't want to be teamed right now. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
his
but
diplomacy not going that well if he's continuing to hit Mog at the same time.
yeah, I think he just wants to. His manipulation will now turn against him, because he first tried against Mog, now against Tyrant. It's like a bit desperate manipulation here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. Tyrant still has a bunch of acolytes hidden around the map, which I think is, well, he's got 2 acolytes hidden around the map, which is very clever. I mean, it's so hard for undead to rebuild, and it's so easy to track down acolytes since they're so damn slow when they're leaving the base. So some good
Yeah.
preparedness on his part. We may or may not see that pay off later in the game, but it's nice to see players be aware of the fact that you can need to rebuild at any moment. And he's got enough gold to go ahead and just throw up a necropolis if need be.
Yeah, however, he doesn't have a lot of items to sell. Actually, he barely has any that are worth above 200 gold. So he has at maximum like 2 necropolis that he can build up. And Mog is back on 100 now, which was scouted by Tyrant, so
Yeah, and he's got a very heavy hippogriff army to counter Rectify's hippogriffs. So that may just wash in the end, but Mog is the only one that has the gold to afford it. There we go. Scouting out the Ancients to win, though, is very important, I think. In case Rectify does win one of these fights big, then the hippogriffs will turn out to be a big role in the fight. There we go.
he just charmed the
Wisp, yep. And he's got enough gold to throw up another Tree of Life if he wants to. Mog's saying he's broke by his standards, which has got to mean that everybody else thinks he has like 5,000 or 6,000 gold.
Yeah, why did he say that? That was really bad.
I know he's just trying to joke around, but when you get a stereotype-type player...
Yeah, I think that will backfire very, very badly now. Well, now he's forced to attack.
Yep, and if you're Rectified, do you think I mean, I think you got to try and help out Tyrant, but how do you do it best? Do you keep hitting Mog's buildings, or do you try and move over to Tyrant's base and help? And if Mog moves now, he does have Wrecktify halfway across the map with no easy way to get to him. So Mog in good position to take out almost all of Tyrant, I would think. Although in comes the TP, does not get there in time. Good news for Wrecktify, because that would have been really brutal fight.
Yeah.
Well, I also think Mog actually needs to do something right now. He's running low on buildings very soon. He only has his main buildings over there and only 2 trees down there. I'm not quite sure if he actually saved another tree of life or is trying to hide him. On the bottom right at least, but that's the only one. So you gotta be careful.
Yeah, Wrecktify doing a nice job of scouting. I mean,
he's just losing buildings without doing anything. And now again, maybe he'll TP this time.
Yeah, he is going to TP, and Wrecktify pretty much immediately saw that he was going to do that and backed off there. So, smart move there. And Tyrant killing some of Wrecktify's hidden buildings.
Huh. Yeah. And now maybe he'll notice Wrecktify's Wisp, yes?
Yep, so Wrecktify's Wisp will go down to Mog.
And he didn't build a tree, that Wisp, so... And he cannot build any other.
Yeah, so where is the remaining... Wrecktify's remaining tree? Oh, there we go. Down by the mercenary camp at the 6 o'clock position.
Ah, yeah. It's actually a very usual place to hide something. I would hide it somewhere that is not really usual to scout, like, I don't know, in between the trees of the natural or something like this, where usually people do not pass.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in this stage of the game. But,
I mean, that spot does have the advantage, though, if it doesn't show up on the mini-map.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
But it won't show on the minimap anyway because it's a tree that is uprooted.
Yeah, but I mean, even when you have something scout over it, the color doesn't show up, whereas when you scout over it, normally it shows a little bit. And Mog is going to TP in here, so Wrecktify does some damage, but is in pretty big danger of losing a lot of his army right now. This is very bold on his part.
Panda has no...
Panda needs to ultimate right away, pretty much.
Why is he not ruling Panda?
Alright, gonna go ahead and staff him, but the... Okay, there we go. Ultimate does go off. Let's see if he does staff... Is he gonna staff the correct thing right now? He needs to get out of there.
Oh, cycling the...
Oh, so we do actually have...
Oh, he Nova...
Nova goes off on Wrecktify.
I really don't know what Tyrant's actually doing there. He's just running in and doesn't really know what to do. Like, it seems like he was chasing Wrecktify and then somehow he moved back. No, it seems like Mog is finally fighting Tyrant. This Lich will definitely survive.
It's funny that Tyrant actually helped Mog, and now Mog attacked him back.
Yep.
So nice.
Mog does need to just make up his mind right now, though.
Yeah, he needs to finish somebody now. And now Mog is low after he attacked Tyrant. And I mean, what is he expecting? He tried to kill him and then...
So I'm really unsure why Tyrant is trying to team with Mog. That just doesn't make much sense to me right now. And, I mean, Tyrant has a scout in the middle of where Wrecktify's base used to be. He's got scouts all across the map. He can clearly tell Wrecktify does not have very much, unless he figures Wrecktify has a big hidden army.
It's a really complicated game right now.
Yeah, it's really funny that they're manipulating now against Tyrant, who's basically dead.
Do love Keeper of the Grove, though. Wrecktify would be in a lot more trouble if he didn't have that.
Yeah, if he lost the Keeper of the Grove before town portaling,
that would have been disastrous.
Yeah, I think he might as well just leave. I mean, no way to heal, no way to town portal, to focus something down. Save it nevertheless.
How many proxy trees does Mog have? I'm trying to scout around and see if I see any. He's got a bunch of wisps around the map. I see 2 Ancients of Wind, but I don't see any trees outside of his Tree of Eternity in his base.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, he has still the one that is next to the top right marketplace.
Oh, okay. So he moved one back up there again, actually, because that was originally killed and then...
Yeah. Oh, Wreck just charmed another wisp.
Yep, but Mog let him charm that one.
Oh.
So I don't know, that's a little diplomacy there. Not sure why, and I cannot believe that they're actually going to go ahead and attack Tyrant together.
Yeah, it's maybe Wreck believes that he can take off Mog with the army he has.
Maybe, I mean, I suppose he could feel really confident about his 1v1 skill, and then he's got enough chimeras that he could base race Mog, or finish Mog off if something went wrong. But maybe he's thinking that he can backstab Mog at the perfect time in the middle of a fight. Tyrant
Yeah,
does
Mog
have
seems
some
to be
guards.
too nice, kinda, in this game. Like, so a perfect backstab might indeed work.
But regardless,
Mog
they
is
should go
hiding.
ahead and do something. And Mog turning his entire army into a hidden army now, just bringing his heroes.
Nah, I don't know why he does that. Everybody knows he has an army.
Yeah, they both scouted that like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, he's not hiding the army. He just, when they team Tyrant, Wreck would realize that Mog is just playing with him. Although Wreck is also using only his heroes.
It's some type of... it looks like Wrecktify is actually just putting his stuff there to protect his army. Or protect his tree, sorry.
Yeah. And Mog might see the tree now. Yep. He'll see the tree. This hippogriff will die probably. No, he didn't.
Eventually, it'll depend how much attention they're paying to that. Maybe he'll think they just flew over a hidden army or something.
Yeah, oh, he noticed.
So Tyrant really... He's got to be a little worried about the fact that he's getting teamed down right now. And at what point do you think he brings out his gargoyles to attack?
At no point.
Because against 6
I mean,
heroes,
there are
it's
two
not gonna do
pandas. That's like giving free experience. He should have not, at no point, show them off.
I find it hard to believe that they'll actually team him to death. Tyrant now hitting Wrecktify, though, which... That's going to hurt Wrecktify a lot worse than it would hurt Mog at the moment. And he's really got no way to stop an Infernal Harass, whereas the Fairy Dragons at least do damage to the Infernal.
Yeah, actually they're pretty effective.
One of the most effective things Night Elf has going for it against Infernal.
Yeah. I think only Dryads are the only thing else that is good against the Infernal.
And it does appear they're going to continue to try and just team down Tyrant as much as possible. I don't know how long it's going to last for,
he
but...
brought his gargoyles. I don't know why. There are two pandas. They're just...
Yeah, I think he just feels desperate and he's got to use them at some point. Nice staff,
and
just
then
barely saving it.
Yeah, and they're like gargoyles, you see. Yeah.
But yeah, that does pretty much just confirm everything. And
Yeah.
if Tyrant loses his heroes here, any of them, then he's going to be completely out and pretty much helpless to help anybody in the future.
Well, that will help Mog because
Yeah, I still think Wrecktify needs a little help.
yeah, his panda is without any significant items, so even though it's level 8, it's not going to be that effective in the aerial fights.
Doing a nice job keeping the sleep press on the Dark Ranger though to prevent silence from going off, but only 2 more coils on that Death Knight before it goes bad, and that's what item got slipped there. TP, nice job flipping that around there for Tyrant, but does lose all of his gargoyles in the process.
Yeah, that's why I said he shouldn't have brought them. It was pointless. They don't do any damage to the heroes, and the panda just kills them off instantly. So
It's hard to tell if either player believes that Tyrant actually has a lot of gold or if they're just manipulating against each other. I think Wrecktify may believe that Mog is pretty much broke now and just has that one army left.
quite possibly.
And Tyrant going to go ahead and kill off Wrecktify, so this Gambit not paying off the way Wrecktify would like it to, I'm guessing.
Well, I think he can easily push off Tyrant.
I think so, but I mean, I'd be more worried about just the constant infernal harass there.
Yeah. But he's not using it. I mean, the Inferno is not on cooldown. He has it ready.
Yeah, he may be trying to go ahead and get it closer. Who knows? Get off a Death and Decay and Infernal at the same time or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But Mog continues to just chip away at Tyrant's base while Wreck and Tyrant are talking to each other, and Tyrant sees Mog's tree here. If that tree goes down, nope, Tyrant gonna let it live. So very nice of him, and could pay off very much so for Mog late game if he needs that tree.
It's funny, Mog is killing off Tyrant's buildings while Tyrant just passed through Mog's tree. And he's doing what you suggested.
Yep.
Death, Decay, and Inferno.
Where is Wrecktify's here? So Wreck is going back, it looks like. He might as well give up on that. He still needs to be scouting out for... Oh, here we go. Mog coming in. He is going to completely clean up on the army here for Wrecktify. Rectify's here. He's still too far away.
Staff, though.
Yep, so... Panda's staff, but it is trapped in there. Wreck actually didn't lose anything.
Yeah, actually Mog lost 8 food.
Yeah, that was
he
unexpected. Usually when you catch somebody off guard, you take the advantage.
Yeah, but he hasn't scouted the Tree of Life before, right? Like now
he
knows.
Yeah, now he knows where the Tree of Life is.
Yeah, not sure if it's worth it to lose 8 supply there, but well, that was a really important information right now that he still has a hidden Tree of Life.
That was very close to turning out a lot better for Mog.
Isn't it like the last building, actually?
I believe it is. He has another Wisp around there somewhere, I think.
Yeah, Mog probably regrets giving this Wisp now.
I'm not sure where the Wisp is, though.
Maybe he lost it somewhere.
Like, to be honest, yes, he only has 1,000 gold. Like, there were only army, right? When you chased down his...
Yeah, it was just his
army. It was right there.
Panda getting very low there for Mog.
Maybe you could have tried to split his Chimeras before, and then just chase, or just try to get him away. Yeah, just get him back of the tree with hippos, and then just using his Chimeras from the other side to melt it down with the Panda Breath of Fire. Just go all in, because the Tree of Life wasn't even rooted up, so it would have taken extra damage actually to the Chims at least.
Yeah,
however, he's not sure that this is his last tree, and he knows that the Wrecktify has a Wisp. And I actually found the Wisp. It's next to the right merchant shop.
Okay.
Close, although it's pretty risky to leave it like this without building a tree. It can easily go down.
Yeah, and Tyrant taking down Mog's remaining tree with the Inferno. I'm not sure if you guys caught that.
No.
On the top right.
And it looks like...
I don't think the tree will die, by the way. It will be a close call.
It's going to be very close, yeah. I think he needs to continue running it away. That was the right decision. He's not going to kill it, but...
Yeah, he should...
I think it will die, it will die.
Nail biter, one more hit, and tree does go down just barely.
The Wisp died. Tyrant killed the Wisp.
Oh, wow. So Wrecktify needs to get moving on that Tree of Life and hide it somewhere else.
Yeah, and he realizes that after he lost the Wisp. He's moving the tree away.
Well, the thing is, Wrecktify is right now stuck on his Tree of Life. Like, only he knows that he's sitting on one building, so of course he will just sit there and camp a little bit and hope for a Tyrant is somehow chasing Mog, or Mog is trying to kill something of Tyrant's base.
Yeah, the fact that Wrecktify only has a single Tree of Life also kind of puts the entire game in play. I mean, if they somehow kill off Mog and then Tyrant gets lucky and uses the Inferno to kill off the Tree of Life or something like that, everything's back in play again.
Yeah, Tyrant actually has a chance. If they do fight, like full on, with their entire armies and they manage to kill each other off, he can still snap the win.
And Mog is down to 1,000 now. He's also capped at 80. Has Tree of Life in the bottom right making its way through, which is actually going to be scouted out by Wrecktify's Tree of Life momentarily, it looks like.
Well, they will actually probably meet now.
Yeah, we can have Tree of Life battles.
If Mog just down portals right there.
They've got to be... wow, I don't know what vision is like. There we go. So Wrecktify has seen Mog's Tree of Life. Mog
he won't kill it. Is he going to down portal? No.
No town portal, okay. Well, that would have been a very risky play had he town portaled and then lost the fight. Since the armies are not that far off now, we've got 73 against 90, which can be changed, and if you add in Tyrant's heroes against Mog, then Mog going to be facing a tough fight. I think it's interesting that Wrecktify has gone ahead and rooted his Tree of Life, since that'll make it a lot easier to scout.
Yeah. And also to be focused down by chimeras.
I keep forgetting Mog actually has an entire army he's just put over on the side of the map.
He's probably thinking what he should do right now. Should he finish Tyrant or fight Wrectify?
Yeah, if you're in Mog's shoes, you probably figure Wrectify has more than one building. And Undead is easy to kill off, so I think I'd be tempted to just go take out Tyrant.
Yeah.
I'd also probably be tempted to start throwing more wisps around the map. I mean, he's got 2 in his current base, 3 in his current base. I would go put one kind of up by where Tyrant was, and then one up by that marketplace again.
Well, I really missed the option like you have in StarCraft 2 as an observer to see the...
Yeah, so...
Not anymore. But well, yeah, so I really miss the option like you have in StarCraft 2 as an observer where you can see the inside or the view from other players so that you can see what they actually can see.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We don't know replay as well.
Because as an observer right now, it's quite easy to say what they could actually do right now. But as a player, it might be really hard. Like, does Mog really know that Tyrant has 6 buildings left, or that this is the last building of Wrectify? It's really hard to answer, because then I think Mog or even Tyrant could actually team up and just kill that tree.
And Wrectify went ahead and charmed an Alkalite as well, so he does have another production unit that he can build something with.
Yeah, but I don't think Tyrant will be very happy that he just lost his Acolyte.
I agree about that part.
Oh, he has another one on the top left marketplace. So maybe he will be okay with it.
I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I don't think he's okay with it, probably.
Yeah, I mean that he won't rage against Rectifier and just charge on Acolyte.
And Mog's got his army on the move. I'm not sure if he's trying to kill off Rectify or what exactly his plan is, but there is moving. I'm also glad that we don't have any humans to tower up the cliffs on the edge. That would be extremely annoying.
Well, I think if a human would actually participate in this final, this game would have been pretty much over, I guess, already due to tanks.
Yeah, probably.
And Archmage 6. Like, human is much more viable and flexible with stuff compared to the other races once your Archmage hits level 6.
Yeah, that's why most of the winners in FML are humans.
Yep.
There is a reason, and that's the reason.
But we do have Mog is on the move. Rek is going to keep that Fairy Dragon alive, just barely, 1 health. And here we go. We could see, TP out, so smart move on Mog's part, because losing a hero going to be very, very bad for whoever manages to lose a hero first. But Rectify clearly just not comfortable moving far away from his Tree of Life.
Yeah, and actually, Mog just scouted the tree with the hippo. it passed through the tree. So if you know where it is.
I think the big question is, though, while Mog may know it's there, does he think it's the last tree? Or does he think that Wrecktify has 3 or 4 trees around the map?
I think he believes it's the last tree because Rek asked him for a wisp. Also, he's camping around the tree and hiding it like overprotective around it. So he may believe it is the last tree. But what happened with the Acolyte in the same time? Yeah,
Acolyte got killed off by Tyrant. Tyrant
Okay.
decided that he didn't want him keeping his Acolyte, apparently.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the players right now are very nervous.
Absolutely. I mean, this is pretty much clutch time, and while maybe a little tedious from the observer point of view, I can tell you from the player point of view, it's really nerve-wracking when you're in this situation.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially I can picture Rek right now. He knows that he has very good army and high-level heroes, but just one building, one building. I'm pretty sure his heart is pumping like crazy right now.
So you've been in this position quite a bit before, Maga. How do you deal with being in this position? Let's talk about it from Wrecktify's perspective. You have one building left. What's your best opportunity to win? How do you make it count the most?
Well, it's like you have to get the attention off you as soon as possible, and also you have to make sure that the 2 other guys kill each other as much as possible before you make your blow. So I guess Wrecktify is just thinking how he can somehow make Mog's army disappear, or something like this. Like how he can fight this army together, maybe with Tyrant, so that he gains the edge. But I don't know. The best thing in such a situation is like to have a plan, to actually think, to be very concentrated, because you can easily be led by emotions or the adrenaline that I'm sure right now is pumping and rushing through Wrecktify. What should I do? Maybe I should go with the heroes, and then suddenly he loses the keeper, for instance, and game is over. So, yeah, I think what he does now is good. He's manipulating. He's trying to convince that he's not the strongest. That's.
So interesting that Mog is going to go ahead and mine out the remaining bit of the gold mine here.
Well, why not? I mean, they're both afraid of teaming him, so.
I really don't understand why Mog doesn't go for just trying to kill off one of them. I guess he's worried about the other coming in and attacking his base, but
he has down portals.
And if you're in this position, it's better to do it as is than to have 2 people teaming you and coming at you in your base. I mean, you're being given the opportunity to take the fight to somebody else, as opposed to be constantly teamed.
Yeah, if 2 players agree to team you, the best thing to do is like leave your base and attack the one that is either the weaker one or the one that is closer, because that way they will be either forced to split, or you can exchange a base for a base. So in this case, when you exchange bases, the other player would realize that keeping this teaming would just hurt him. So you team the remaining player with just one base. And if you were the strongest at that point, this will give you the edge eventually in the final arena.
So why do you think Wrecktify hasn't gone ahead and gotten a Staff of Teleportation on his Panda to harass with that? Or why Mog hasn't done it conversely as well? I mean, I guess you've got to be worried about the Keeper of the Grove entangling, but it seems like it would be pretty helpful to be able to run around the map, use Breath of Fire, and then use your ultimate to get away or teleport back, and just do a lot of damage. I mean, Breath of Fire is so incredibly strong.
Maybe he's afraid that Mog can do the same trick as he did before, like attack with his army while the panda is split. And if the panda is split, then no haze, no fire, and he can lose the area of battle. Or even if he doesn't, he will still lose almost his entire force. And then preserving this tree would be impossible. So maybe that's what he's worried about.
Well, I also think that Wrecktify has to play a little bit more carefully here right now, since he's just, well, like you already mentioned before, he's just sitting on the Tree of Life, so he has no altar. He doesn't even have any chances to get back one of his zeros if he's losing them. And the thing about Staff of Teleportation actually is that it's rather useless, actually, in my opinion. Like, he doesn't even know if Tyrant is on his side or on or facing him, or if they're playing against each other. So. The thing is, also Mog actually has a keeper, so you can easily cancel that Staff of Teleportation. So there's not only the ultimate is actually possible to get rid of any kind of disables right now. Then there's actually the point of if he's running across the whole map. This is like not the smallest map where he's actually running to, and it would take some time to get back to his army. Of course he can split, but he's losing some time if he's getting sandwiched by both armies, actually, by the Undead and Mog as well. So he really has to play more careful right now. But also what I was actually going to add is that I don't really know what kind of problems all of the three players actually have right now. Of course, it's the finals. No one wants to do any kind of big mistakes right now. But you can see that Mog and Wrecktify have been, plus Tyrant even has a shade, they both have been scouting the whole map probably for like 10 minutes right now, so they definitely need to know that, or should know what's actually happening right now. Like, Wrecktify is just sitting for 10 minutes at his main tree, so there has to be something right now. Like, he's just sitting on one tree. I think they should have figured that out way earlier. There's no shed between all of these three players right now, so it's really hard. Like, I guess we will even see a 10 more minute camp right now, because they're not really telling each other what's happening. Of course, they're trying to hide some interesting or important facts about themselves, but yet, like, they're not making any choices who's facing against who, or who's teaming with who. So.
Well, right now it seems like Mog is going to attack Wrecktify, and Tyrant is seeing this with a shade, but he's keeping quiet, just as you said. He's not letting Wrecktify know. And if I may remind that that's Tyrant's chance to see Wrecktify and Mog's army fighting straight on and killing each other off. So let's see.
Plus, there are so many possible scenarios in this game. Like, if you would be in Tyrant's position, I actually think the only way to win right now is to hope for that Mog is finally facing Wrecktify. And you can see that he's now running from behind, so maybe he knows that he has only the Tree of Life and he's just going all in right now.
Mog's hoping
and it would be really, really close, because he has so many hippogriffs, and if he uses Raw in time, he might be even able to...
Rectify that
tree
caught
will
off
die.
guard here,
That tree
sitting
will
down.
die. Oh, and now he's rooting at GG.
Yeah,
so
GG.
He's definitely dead. So Wrecktify was defeated well done here by Mog.
I
think that was actually
really nice
the
move.
game. Yeah, so it looks really, really bad for Tyrant right now. He's facing with 34 supply versus 89, and
I'm actually surprised why didn't Wrecktify put a hippogriff on the other side of his tree, so that he sees if Mog comes from behind.
Yeah, I don't know. That would make sense.
Yeah, like it's the last building, and he's not really paying attention to any kind of directions, right?
Yeah, he was just protecting the entrance, but what entrance is the... Yeah.
And that'd be a question to see how aggressively Mog would play this.
Will he face or try to kill this army, or just try to kill off his buildings? Like, he's undead, he can't really hide with like Tree of Life.
Yeah, the smart move would be to just go for the buildings, but it does look like he is going to try and take down the heroes first. He might have luck getting down that Dreadlord. I mean, this is where Mana Burn will come into play, but he does go ahead and put back there, and if I was Mog, I would just go ahead and uproot these Ancients of Wind, heal them up, and move them around the map. And then you got to take the fight to Tyrant, I think.
Yeah. Mog is basically forced to take those fights. Like, he's facing Unholy Aura level 3, and you can see that he's not even able to reach his zeros.
Yep.
Plus, he doesn't really have so many buildings, but I still think if he knows all of his buildings, he can still win with Fort Gyms and with the Panner.
Absolutely. I think he should be able to. And don't forget, he does have a full control group of Fairy Dragons as well, which Tyrant pretty has no way to take down.
Yeah, he has only one orb, so...
Yep. And he's got 5 gargoyles running around the map, scouting, trying to find buildings to kill. But, yeah, Mog should have this in hand, and now it's just a question of, you gotta not chase. I mean, we can see Tyrant doing a pretty nice job of kiting here, but Lich is getting entangled, and...
Destroyer goes down.
Yep, Destroyer is going to go down. We'll see how many of the Hippogriffs go down. Not as many as it could have been, but
yeah, just one more Nova and they would all die.
Yeah. Does get them back just in the nick of time, and surprised he's not doing more mana burning on the Death Knight while he entangles the Lich, to be honest. So there we go. Mog does pull away and realizes he needs to go for the actual base and try to go for base kill. Does Mog have any buildings across map, or is that all he has left?
No,
in his base?
that's all he got. And I'm actually wondering, like, why did he use his Chimera? Like, he knows where some of his enemies' buildings are, so why is he just not running with the Zeros and Fury Dragons and kill one of those buildings at the side of the map?
Yep, well, it does look like he is now going to go for the building kill and splitting up his Hippogriffs to attack other things as well.
Oh, but damn, he still has an Acolyte, so...
Yep.
He still has enough gold to get another Necropolis, and Mog actually has really hard time, so if Tyrant even wins this, it would be really huge.
And Tyrant's just gotta be careful that he doesn't get his heroes caught. Death and Decay obviously can do a bunch of damage early on, but Mog playing this nice and cautiously. He still does have 1,000 gold, so he's got enough for...
4 wisps.
Yep. He can rebuild, he can get a TP. And I feel like Tyrant's just going to get a little bit careless at some point, and a unit's going to go down because of that. Does have a potion of vulnerability, but you obviously don't want to burn that if you don't have to right now. But there we go. We do see the entangle go off, and he has to use it.
And the thing is that he cannot heal the Death Knight now pretty fast, so it's like... So now it's like he has to hide. And in the meantime, just Mog will finish off his buildings.
Yep. So Mog should be able to wrap this up relatively quickly, I would think. And he's done a nice job of keeping his Hippogriffs separated so they can come in and attack the gargoyles right now.
Really
the only
important
damage.
sleep. Otherwise, DK would have died. But
there you go. Death Knight getting super low right now. And it is just out of range. Fairy Dragons are catching up to it. Death Knight regaining health quicker than they'll be able to take it down, though, I believe. And the Dreadlord going to be at stake now as well, so...
He will die. Oh, close, 9 HP.
But
why doesn't the Keeper could go from the other direction?
Probably didn't think about that.
Well, he could have also used the Fury Drinks just to the left side and just catch the Death Knight. He just said he had low HP. Like, if he wants to avoid the Fury Drinks, then he had to turn to the right side. But then again, he would have faced the Knight of Furies and he would have died for sure. So I think switching the movement to the left side with the Fury Drinks could have been enough to kill the Death Knight.
It's not like it would matter, I think, at the end, but still, it's I think Mog actually deserves the win because although both Tyrant and Wrecktify made the huge mistake of letting him mine 4 mines in the end stage of the game. I mean, this was the key moment. I still cannot understand how they let him mine, and they even teamed Wrecktify in the meantime. So it was
Mog, just go kill those buildings. Come on, dude.
Yeah, he can send his chimeras there.
Like, he just saw the Blight, and I'm pretty sure he saw the Necropolis.
Well, Keeper of the Grove is going back at least, so... Yep, there we go. So it's now in range, and should be taken down relatively quickly, I think.
We were lagging.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Okay.
Hopefully.
The robot.
Come on, Mog, hurry up so I don't lag
I feel
out.
the mighty D-dots.
Wreck is
Rectify.
really. I can see that the adrenaline now has transformed into rage in Wreck.
Yeah, he
But,
was really hoping to add the 4th title here, but that's GG. Nope.
Nope.
Did
Oh,
he
you
just
have
get
the
a building up?
necropolis on the top left, but it's left building.
Oh.
Thing is that both Wreck and Tyrant made this mistake to let Mog mine.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Let
should just
Mog get a
blame
lot of
themselves.
gold.
Yeah, I mean he got like 6,000 or 7,000 gold, keeping in mind the upkeep as well. Outfit, so. And he's broke now. I mean, if he didn't mine all that gold, he would probably never be in that position right now. So Rectify and Tyrant can blame only themselves for letting him mine.
I'm somewhat surprised Mog is not doing more scouting with his hippogriffs at the moment.
But maybe that. No. Almost.
Maybe this fairy dragon spotted the necropolis.
Mog, you're heading the wrong way, buddy. There we go. Tyrant is certainly being persistent, though. And I suppose if Mog takes long enough to find Tyrant, then that Infernal may do serious damage.
Yeah, and there is only one wisp left for Mog now.
Yeah, I'm surprised Mog hasn't started sending buildings to different parts of the map. I mean, he's got this Ancient of Wind, which he could put down by one of the shops. He could put the Wisp somewhere else. I mean, maybe even just use the Wisp to rebuild a tree somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should use the shade to the Night of Armory, actually.
Yeah, on the heroes.
So he knows where the enemy is actually running.
Mm-hmm.
So he can come from another side. Oh, nice. Killing off a few hippogriffs.
Well, I'm out of things to say about this.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a game. Now it's just a waiting game until Mog finds the last necropolis.
I mean, it's somewhat inevitable that Mog will go ahead and do it. I guess while we're waiting, then...
Well, Mog is thinking that if he drops this game, it'll be bad, but I think it's over anyway.
So let's go ahead and start with... talk about all our players and what they did well, what they could do better. And we'll start with Calypso, who got eliminated first, but obviously is a very strong free-for-all player. So, Wan, why don't you go ahead and say what you thought he did well and what you thought he should do to improve upon his performance?
Well, I think he doesn't really like of micro anything, since he was already a really good orc player in PwNu.Wan before. But you can see that even though he is playing quite a lot recently in the FFA ladder, I guess, like whenever I came home, he was always streaming FFA.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just saw for the first time one of his match after a few months right now, and like I mentioned already a few minutes before, he really lacked of scouting in my opinion.
Yep.
The positions were quite obvious, like how the fights will actually turn out, and that he will face the undead very soon. So, and yeah, like I already said, the Temple of Damned came really early on, for at least in my opinion. So it was a really game-changing moment for Ludix as well. Ludix, like I said, he's a really good micro player. He doesn't really lack of any kind of macro or something. I wish I could have seen more of him in this game, especially in the late game, since he's an orc player and Also, orc players are quite interesting to watch in FFA. Yeah, it's not much left to say. I think this game was a really bad game for him. There was not much for him to show. Like, I think if he would have scouted better, I think he could have reacted much better in my opinion.
I can add only that maybe he got confident that since Tyrant is an undead, he can actually fend him off with just 50 or 80 or, in an easier manner. So he wasn't afraid that much of a rush, but I don't think he expected a tower rush.
Sometimes 1v1 players like me, just don't really expect crazy things, especially in FFA.
Yeah.
You just sit like there and think, okay, he's undead and I'm orc, I will easily crush him.
Yeah, probably that's what he was thinking. And then the surprise.
Yeah, so maybe he also lacks of a bit experience, but well, that just comes by time.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about Wrecktify Mage? You're an elf player. What do you say about his play?
I think he actually just played a really solid game overall. I think his biggest mistake could have proved to not be a mistake, but it didn't work out for him, was not finishing Mog early on. I mean, he went and hit Tyrant, which I thought was kind of weird. I think Tyrant and Calypso were perfectly paired off to go kill each other, and I think once Wrecktify had killed Mog, he was in a great position to take out whoever was left and clean up. I mean, Tyrant, if you scouted better, I mean, that was part of it. I think he didn't have a good early game scouting. You could see Tyrant only had one expo for the majority of the game, or at least the majority of the time he was hitting Calypso. And Wrecktify, after he had first hit Mog, had 4 expansions, was easily dominating in gold. And at
Death Knight will die now.
Yeah, there goes that Death Knight. But at that point, Wrecktify was in a great position to completely take Mog out of the game, I think, and was probably in a position to handle the 2v1 even if it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But just looking at it, Tyrant was very focused on Calypso for the entire early game. But aside from that, I think Wrecktify actually had a very, very solid overall game and came down to just a few bad breaks for him. How about Tyrant, though? What do you think about him, Maga?
Tyrant executed a very nice rush on Ludix, successful as well. He didn't lose that much. His main mistake was a macro mistake. He didn't expand on the 2 free mines. He could have done that almost as soon as he set up the towers. He had the gold, he had the opportunity. The Blade Master was occupied, and that way he could have had like a lot more gold and actually have a 100 food army. Because now I'm just checking the score screen, and his largest army was just 85 food.
Mm-hmm.
In a 2 hours game, that's really tells volumes. Apart from that, though, he gained big levels from killing Ludix. He also survived Rectify's attack, which actually proved out to be one of the key moments for Mog winning the game, in my opinion. But again, his main, just as Rectified, he didn't call out Mog, that Mog was mining 4 mines at such a later stage of the game. And
I agree. And then our last player, of course, is our Season 18 champion, Mr. Mog Skynet. And I think he had a kind of weak early game. He didn't get the creeping he would have liked to, and as a result of that, wasn't able to fight Wrecktify. He didn't go 100, he didn't scout very well. I mean, it looked early on like Mog was going to be taken out, but then that late game of his was just brilliant, and he stuck with it. And I mean, that's what a lot of elf players have to do, is just never give up. And despite the fact that he may not have had the best microgame, I mean, you look at heroes killed, he only killed 2 heroes compared to both Tyrant and Wrecktify.
But see resources, though. See the resources.
That's what really shows. I mean, and that's part of what free-for-all is the ability to be bad in one area for a game and still recover from other areas. So I think overall Mog played very well. I think he deserves the win, and I'm happy for him. But at the same time, I think it easily could have fallen into either Wrecktify or Tyrant winning the game. And I think it was actually a very good finals, and it didn't take 4 hours, for which I'm very grateful.
Yeah, that's a good point.
right.
However, just resources score just tells volumes. I mean, 65,000 gold mine compared to 45,000 in the second place. Like, what else can you say?
Yep, and that's clearly where the difference came from. I mean, it was just 15 minutes there where Mog was allowed to mine with free reign. But
Yeah.
I think we've taken up enough of our viewers' time, so I'd just like to thank
Yeah.
you both. Maga, thank you for joining me as always.
Yeah,
Juan, I
thank
know
you.
that you actually do some shoutcasting of your own and some streaming, so why don't you go ahead and tell us what your Twitch channel is and what your YouTube channel is so we can make sure that everybody listening subscribes to those as well.
My actually Twitch channel is well, that's a really large name for Twitch. It's at twitch.tv/whiteandnerdy with 3 Ys, and the YouTube channel is I think it's just type in PwNu.Wan and you will definitely see some of my videos over there. And I also think I might play the next season again.
All right.
Because I'm moving places very soon in like 3 weeks to my girlfriend, so yeah, that will definitely mean that I got more time to play some more leagues beside FFA when we want as well, and FFA of course. So I will definitely try to get into the next FFA season.
Well, we look forward to having you back then, and best of luck with all that. So, this has been Mage. This was the Season 18 Finals. Congratulations to Mog. And
Congratulations to Mark.